know that the pro-choice movement, that name was devised in hell because choices are good. I'm always making choices. But for the pro-choice movement, the choice is to kill a child. And that's not good. You see, we're always making choices. And our choice is to whether we cooperate or we buck against the gold. And that's the way it is. But knowing that our choices mean something. What Barack Hussein Obama is choosing for the United States will have consequences. My choices have consequences. Your choices have consequences. There is no choice that we make that doesn't have consequences. If Barack Hussein Obama goes against the Israeli state, I will tell you, my friends, you can just say to the United States, goodbye, cruel world, I'm off to join the circus. You can say to the United States, you know what? You're a has-been nation. Let me also tell you about what I saw last week. I'm listening to the news, you know, it's very interesting. You have to listen because you see the prophetic unfolding right before your eyes. Do you remember what you read about? I don't read the newspapers, I listen to the news. The newspapers are all lies, you know, they're all slanted. I listen to the news, it has both sides. But do you hear about last week? There were 20 nations that began to meet in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. These are the 20 greatest economic nations in the world. Why do you think these nations are meeting together in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? I will tell you. Because they fear a worldwide economic depression. Okay? That's why they're meeting. How to avert a worldwide economic depression. You see, because if the United States goes under, I'm going to tell you, we're going to take a lot of people with us. If Barack Hussein Obama's healthcare thing comes about the way he wants it, which will be another $1 trillion or more, we will go under. You see, you cannot charge your plastic card when you don't have any money. Because you know who holds all the debt of the United States of America? China. China, you know? China. I don't know if you trust China, but I don't trust China. It's godless. It kills its second child. Forced abortions. People who have a second child in China, they have to pay great taxes, spend money to send their children to school. I don't trust China. They hold our debt. If there would be a worldwide economic depression, which I saw in 1997 when I saw the Titanic sinking. I told you the story 1,000 times, and I knew the meaning that it was going to be a worldwide economic depression. I knew that in 1997. I didn't even know that economy, the economic system was worldwide in 1997. I thought we had our own and they had their own. I didn't know that we were all tied up together. I don't know these things. You know, I'm from East Boston, you know what I'm saying? I've never studied economics. But now we're all joined together. And if we fall, the world falls. And what happened to Katrina with the looting and the killing, you want to multiply that times 10, 100,000. Because we are people that will not do without. But you see, this is the time to find our knees. That's what I tell people. It is not the time to get discouraged. It is the time to find our knees. It is the time to make right choices. It is the time to praise the Lord. It is the time to offer our hearts and our bodies and our souls and our lives as living sacrifices of praise. It is the time to fast and pray. It is the time not to be afraid, but it is the time to make the right choices. Because you know what? Our choices have consequences. And I know that I am listened to in Washington, D.C. because I have a program in Washington, D.C. I know Mr. Obama doesn't listen to me, but maybe somebody who has Obama's ear tell him not to give up Israel. Not for a nation that's fanatical, that killed college students in the streets because they wanted freedom. And we said nothing for weeks to the president. Nothing. 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 I just want to bring it back to Mrs. Obama when our illustrious president was a candidate. She says, finally, the United States has done something good. Can I just tell you, they hate this nation. They hate this nation. Wherever they go, even at the UN, he threw the United States under the bus. He threw Israel under. They hate this nation. We are taking God out of the Pledge of Allegiance. We're taking God out of the coinage, and we are going to give up Israel. They hate this nation and what it stands for. That's our president, and that's our first lady. And you know what? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But you know what? We've killed how many million children? God says, I will give you up. Because even the church does so little about the unborn. And now, about the people that will die at the end of life. Yeah, the Pope wrote the document, you know, on life, the gospel of life. But in the Archdiocese of Boston, we don't carry that document out. You want to know why? They give birth control out in the Caritas Christi hospitals. You read the catechism, and birth control is a sin. When we compromise there, we're compromising elsewhere. We also have to say to a woman who wants an abortion, you have to call your medical insurance. We don't say we'll give you an ultrasound. Compromise is at the essence of our diocese right now. And when you compromise, you're in trouble. Because where do you stop? I need to hear from you, Father Tom, Post Office Box 602, East Boston, Mass. 02128. That's Father Tom, Post Office Box 602, East Boston, Mass. 02128. God bless you.